All right, let's look at the homework 1, problem number 8. All right, so what I wanted to do here is to determine if this function specify y as a function of x. All right, so to be a function, a single x value has to produce a single y value. All right, so easy way to tell that is I'm going to actually just solve this equation for y to see how many formulas we can get for y. All right, so we're going to move x squared over to the other side. We can do that by simply subtracting x squared from both sides. So you have a y squared is equal to 64 minus x squared. All right, now we want to get rid of this squared here so that we have y all by itself, so we can take the square root. All right, so whenever you take the square root, so we have to worry about the positive version and negative version. So it's going to be a plus or minus square root of 64 minus x squared. All right, so you can see that there are two formulas. So we have multiple formulas. Right, so which means that we're gonna most likely to get the two separate y values for a single x value. So this means that it's y is not a function of x. All right, so let's say answer the question here. So answer is going to be no. All right, so let's check the answer. We got that. All right, the second part is going to be, we are trying to find a counterexample since it's not going to be a function. Let's try x equals 10. All right, so if you plug in 10, you can see that the 64 minus 10 squared would be 100. So it's going to be 64 minus 100, which is a negative value, which is a bad news because square root cannot have a negative value inside it. So therefore, first example actually does not work. All right, B is not the answer, and the counterexample x equals 0 is a good one because if x equals 0, and then you can see that the y value is going to be plus or minus square root of 64 minus 0 squared, which is plus or minus square root of 64, which is plus or minus 8. So you can see that visually, so x value is 0. Then the x 0 has two corresponding y value. So it looks like that. You can see that this is 0 is a troublemaker, and it's positive 8 and also a negative 8 are assigned to 0. So this is a no-no in a function. So this would be a good counterexample. So this is that. All right. X equals 8 almost work out, but if you can see that if you plug in 8 here, 64 minus 8 squared would be 64. So you have a plus or minus 0. So that will only give you a 0, one value. So that wouldn't work as a counterexample. So therefore, C is the only correct answer. All right, check the answer. All right, we got that. All right, that's it. I hope that this was clear.